Clearly, the Republicans are already trying to paint victories like Abdul El-Sayed and others as the Democrats have gone too extreme. Or what do you?
It's nonsense. I mean, look, even he's not even a member of the DSA. I think this notion of insurgency over incumbency is the real message here. And people just want fighters. They want people with conviction, strength, clarity, people that get it, want to get things done, and they're done with the status quo. And I totally respect that. I've long felt like I've been an established insurgent. I've always had that mindset.
That's California Governor Gavin Newsom wasting no time hitting the campaign trail for Michigan Democrats, casting himself as one of them, taking on the establishment. As he confirms, he is meeting with far-left Senate hopeful Abdul El-Sayed today. Fox News contributor and New York Post columnist Miranda Devine joins us now. Miranda, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ainsley.
You're welcome. What does this say? He's going to meet with El-Sayed. Does that mean they link up on policies now? The establishment is going to the progressive and leaving California. Also, Barack Obama had a call with him and other top Democrats on Friday.
Exactly. I mean, if we thought that the Democrat Party might come to its senses and push back against this socialist Marxist ideology that has hijacked it, forget it. They're all lining up to embrace El-Sayed, Zoran Mamdani, and if she wins in Michigan, Francesca Hong. This is the extreme left. And, you know, when they are embracing Abdul El-Sayed, what they're also doing is embracing these extreme left policies that will end up with cradle-to-grave dependency on government, enslaving Americans, and the antithesis of what the American can-do spirit is, and as well as, you know, abolishing ICE, defunding the police. Medicare for all means Medicare for illegal migrants. And you can bet that that border that Joe Biden flung open will be flung open again. And yet there's the Democrat Party have not learned a single lesson.
So here is a soundbite of El-Sayed defending higher taxes under his Medicare for all policy. Listen.
Just to be very clear, you're describing this trade-off. You are effectively acknowledging that people making less than $1 million could see their taxes go up. I just want to be very clear. Is that a yes?
I'm saying that we'd be paying for health care in a different way. Instead of paying a health insurance company whose CEO makes $20 million, I would much rather pay for durable health care into a government, which, of course, we all know provides health care for seniors who need health care the most. So if I'm trading paying a CEO to make more money or paying government to guarantee me health care, I'm picking the latter every time.
Miranda, how could we afford it?
Well, obviously we can't, and you just have to look at countries around the world that have embraced a softer form of socialism, and you can see that once there is a government entitlement program, a massive one like Medicare or disability insurance, etc., you can never get rid of it, and you create this entitlement attitude among people who just don't think they really need to work for anything. And it just destroys that resilience and that get up and go mentality that's made America what it is today.
Here's Gavin Newsom defending El-Sayed as someone who gets it. Watch.
We were at dinner last night. People were telling me they were not supportive of him, but they were very appreciative of how he's handled himself since the primary. And I think that's encouraging. So I offer no advice. My observation is he seems to be moving at a pretty impressive clip, and those unity rallies, and there's been small and large ones, obviously the big one Friday night, but these smaller events, including the ones that we'll have tomorrow, are indicative of someone who gets it.
So some of these progressive candidates doing well with the younger or with wealthy Caucasians, but the black community is not supporting these types of progressive candidates. So what's their plan?
Yes, isn't it interesting that the reality on the ground is very different from the sort of media gloss that we see about these so-called socialist, really Marxist candidates. The reality on the ground is, as you said, El-Sayed did really well in college towns with white college kids and white college-educated people, but not in real working-class communities, in black communities, where I guess they've wisened up they know, they can smell a phony when they see one. And El-Sayed is not at all interested in making things better for the working class. Like all his ilk, they're just interested in power. And it's so hilarious seeing someone like Gavin Newsom, who has always been a shapeshifter, and now he's just contorting himself into trying to be sort of I'm an establishment insurgent. What is he? He's one or the other. He's everything. He's a hollow man.
Yeah, you have James Carville who's saying they can't be a part of our party, but then you have some of these Democrats that are so desperate and they want to link on, I think, just for popularity reasons. Thank you so much, Miranda.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.